All right, so welcome to Bronze Basics, where I'll be watching a code of every single hero in Bronze. Today's hero is going to be Illari. Now, Illari is a hero that I don't play a ton of, but I get destroyed by quite frequently. She's a really fun, more DPS style hero. A lot of like their changes have kind of made it so she's more DPS heavy, but can also do a decent amount of healing. But we'll start off with like the basics. So with the solar rifle, it's pretty straightforward. You do damage with it, pay attention to your charge, make a decision based off of their HP if you should let it charge up more, or if you should let it charge up less. We'll have the damage numbers here. You can kind of understand what the max and the min is. And you have the solar rifle, which is your secondary. You're gonna heal with this. You don't wanna go into heal bot mode. It's meant to be more of like you heal your teammates, but you don't just like try to pocket them. But a lot of the time, you're gonna wanna save it for like healing your squishies, your other support, and then heal your tank when you need to. Healing pylon is basically the bread and butter of your comp. Basically, where you're going to get a lot of your heals done, it's gonna be how you keep yourself alive, and it's gonna be how you also keep your teammates alive. Two ways to use the pylon. One, you can put it in a spot, kind of in a corner. Obviously, the best thing you can do is make it out of line of sight. You can heal your teammates on angles to the point where you can go in DPS on a different angle. When you use deployables, you can use them as a distraction also. Put your pylon in a hard to kill spot or at an angle to where they have to look at it up in the air. So when they come around the corner, they're going to look up, and then that's going to allow your teammates to get kills. There's also another option. This is the more selfish way, but you can just keep the pylon for yourself, have it in a range where the majority of the heals will go to you, which kind of makes you kind of an unstoppable hybrid like DPS support. In Bronze, you'll probably want to do more of the safe pylon, and then eventually, as you climb out of Bronze or Silver, Gold, you want to start moving that towards you. Because generally, as you climb, your teammates become more self-sufficient. Outburst, it's kind of your disengage. You want to use it a little bit more kind of like to disengage out. Usually you can do it to peel like Tracer away from you, a Genji. And then last but not least, you're gonna have your ultimate, Scath of Sun. Think like Pulse Bomb, but like you can chain affect it. So like, let's say you get 3 people in it and then you hit it on one person, the explosion damage from that will explode onto the other. And it kind of has like this chain effect. You can use this ultimate solo on somebody. You can use it for multiple people. But most importantly, this also gives you a ton of mobility in the air. So use that, utilize that mobility, go up into the air. Your ultimate is so good, and like you can win team fight after team fight with a good ultimate. But one thing I want to say, if you do everything else right with your kit, you're going to get that ult so much in Bronze that you're going to just win games because you have good ultimates. You're going to get so many ellipses. That's Illari. Next up, we have this VOD where I'll give a little bit more feedback. Hope you enjoy it. Appreciate y'all. All right, so today's video, we are watching a Bronze 1 Illari on PC. Let's say hi. I started playing Overwatch last season, around halfway through, and fell in love with Illari's kit, so I've been playing her a lot. I've only played shooters on PC since February, so my mechanics need some work, but other than that, I'm not sure what to focus on. Felt like I died a lot this game and maybe didn't get enough value. Through damage and kind of fear, I was hurting my team more than helping. Well, let's see how it goes here. Here we go. I think you're all the way at the back of spawn. I've never seen that. Well, I have, but usually don't go there. All right. Okay, now I want you to find a pylon that will help this choke. Right? Like, I'm looking at your... So, this was the problem. Is I'm already looking at your pylon spot, like you're putting it here, like you're all gonna back up to this, but at this point you have to understand that most of the people here are gonna fight as a choke. I mean, like even like here at this angle, I'm a little bit concerned about like a Kiriko killing it, like, but there's definitely gonna be some angles around here that you can go with that would be super helpful for your team. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see actually. Let's look. This one would be easy to kill if you're at this angle. Like I was thinking maybe here in the tree, but then like I think it's gonna look a lot worse than we thought it was. I guess you could put it like right here and hope that nobody's on the angle. Basically, it's gonna be rough to get a good pylon spot on before the choke, but putting it back here will probably not be as beneficial, so find like a way. Maybe like here in the corner, chat, up here. Like that would be kind of a, yeah, that could work. Yeah, like right here. Either way, it might get destroyed, but anyway. Thankfully, I mean, no one's killed the pylon over there, so that works out for you. That pylon is, yeah. Either way, I mean, nothing you can really do about this right now. That's unlucky. I've been there, done that. Don't you worry. Throw a pylon down just to try to... What you could have done is thrown a pylon up and maybe we would have gotten one more survivability, like one more way to survive. I don't know if that would have mattered, but might as well try. The toughest part about this is watching the team get through the choke because this is the part that's going to be tough. Thankfully, no one's killed the pylon. Ramatra's going in. Nothing like too extravagant yet. Like it's nothing you've been able to like really do yet. You are moving your pylon up though, so that's good. I don't know where that's going to angle at just yet, but I would say try to get out quicker. It kind of can matter with the Illari, but I would say use your shift to get out a little bit quicker in that situation and see if you can kind of get to your spot quicker because maybe that's how you help kill the Ramatra during that. It's not an easy situation though. The Ramatra's kind of just running at your team constantly and you're not really having any opportunity. If you're wondering about things you can do in this situation, getting through the choke here is a team effort. It also helps when your Sierra goes to the point and kills 3. So that also can help. But like, if you really want to know in those type of situations, just to go back to this choke, it becomes tough to kind of just stand here. So don't be afraid to like path up here, throw an individual pylon for yourself and go in on angles like this. I'm not even joking. Like the amount of people that won't look up or even check these type of spots, like this could be a really good spot for you. If you want to feel more effective at the choke and you don't want to just stand here and right click somebody the whole time and heal them, like go up here and maybe like put a pylon down and kind of just peek out. Maybe you get a kill or two. Maybe you get one kill. Maybe they look at you. Either way, something different than just sitting at the choke for 2 minutes. Basically, to summarize, as long as someone here looks up here, you've already done what you're supposed to do. The idea is to get them from not funneling all of their cooldowns and looking at your team. If you go up here and they look up here, you've already done what you're supposed to do. Good job by your Sierra. I can see why. I get a lot of complaints about Sierra right now in chat about like, you know, one of the recent ones was like, hey, like, why haven't they nerfed Sierra yet? I try to explain that, like, I think they have a problem where it's very rank dependent, where Sierra is absolutely shredding in some lobbies. And then like top 500 is like, you know, okay. It's because of the positioning. Sierra punishes bad positioning. You know, part of me doesn't even like... Okay, let's talk about this ultimate very quickly. I think you're better off just poking the Ramatra ultimate rather than just ulting like randomly right there, if I'm going to be honest with you. I know what you're trying to do and get the kill, but you got to remember they're running the Life Weaver. What I would do is like just go up here and just poke. Do some damage. Same concept. If the Ramatra keeps looking at you as you're just going like back and forth like this, see? You're in a good spot. If the Ramatra doesn't look at you, you can do a crap ton of damage. These two become preoccupied, which then opens up the room for the rest of your team. Do you see how like a trend we're having here is you wanted to know how to be able to maybe output some more damage for your team? These are those moments. The truth about Illari is you're not expected to be, you know, sit there and be like this huge like heal machine. Like your damage is kind of where you bring a lot to the table. Now in bronze, you are going to have trouble finding that damage more often. And obviously with mechanics and like working on your aim, that is going to take time. So that's something to keep in mind during that. But looking for those opportunity and kills can be really key. So thus far, looking at the scoreboard, your damage output is 781. So like that would be considered on the low end of damage for Illari. Also, I forgot to mention, sometimes you don't even need your pylon. So like your pylon in bronze actually can be super helpful where mechanics are a little bit different. The pylon's actually a really good consistency for your teammates to get healed. So you can find really good pylon spots during that too if you don't need it. Anyway, you can put a pylon here. Yeah, right there is fine. That's good. I don't think that's terrible. I mean, it's terrible. Now it looks terrible because of what happened, but like, are you really in like is your team... Okay, the point I'm making here is your team has the advantage now. If they kill your pylon, they're doing that. I think I'm okay with that. Good usage of the Life Weaver pedal. Pylon is going to be okay. Again, you got to remember you have some rotations coming from over there. Okay, now you do damage. This is the part where you just do damage. I'm serious. You can maybe throw your pylon up towards your teammates. Like right now, your pylon's losing a little bit of value. So throw it like right here. At the very worst, it gives Emre another target. But like, you know, throw it here prior and let it like bounce heals here. And then you should have range for yourself too. Again, finding maximum pylon like value is really key here also. So notice how you have to stand still to do this and you can't pay attention to that because you have to heal. The pylon being in a better spot solves that whole issue. That solves that whole issue by putting your pylon in a better spot. Yep. So I know what you're trying to do here, by the way, but like pylon also has line of sight. So your vision is, okay, you're going to heal the Roadhog. This will not heal the Roadhog, by the way. It's going to heal people right here, which I guess is fine technically. If it's going to heal your squishies, like that's, you know, that's what you're supposed to do a lot of the time with the Illari anyway. But I like to find maximum value. I would love to see it be a little bit more line of sighty for your Roadhog. You could technically throw it like in a random spot over here. But even then, like, yeah, this is just one of those weird angles again. If they have this positioning, this could be actually an okay spot. I'll give this as an okay one. Maybe look for a better option, but like I think that's still going to do what you want it to do. Yep. Then you can take map control here, reapply your pylon. Man, don't you love... Yep. So you can't be the one to try to go to this spot. You need to let your teammates clear out. This right here is just going to be bad positioning, and I talk about it all the time. You don't want to go over here until this spot is cleared by your team. Like, you need this Ashe cleared out, and you need this left side to be like here before you make any type of those plays. If you wanted to be more effective elsewhere, I actually think going up over here, putting a pylon right here, and then peeking this angle, same concept. You notice what we're talking about here? Put a pylon here, go on this angle, do some damage, not in the way of a Ramatra ultimate. Your Kiriko can take care of healing your teammate now. Mate on your team, they take any poke. Okay, put a forward pylon now. Yep, good job. A little bit unlucky on the angle from Ramatra, but they're not gonna get to it in time, so you're good. Now, this is where I would go take that angle I talked about. I'm serious. Go on that high ground with your Sierra, and I think you're going to be in a good spot. And this is where... This goes back to the... I'll talk about it as this team fight kind of breaks out because you're going to win it. This is what I mean about, like, you're in a spot where you're relying so much on your teammates to make plays. I want you to think about how can I help my DPS in those angles. Imagine being there with the Sierra on that angle. both of you will be involved. Your teammates will be healed in main. Start thinking about going on like the sides more and using your pylon as like a self-sufficient damage one. Now, of course, if you're running like, you know, a low heal and comp, you might need to be more helpful there. But when you have a Kiriko, I would say play into that more. Like, take those angles with like your Sierra and do that. All right, that pylon should be fine. I don't mind that at all. Good spot, as long as they don't take the angle. But you notice how most of your team fights being won are you relying on what your teammates are doing? And this is why, like, yeah, this is going to happen, but if you can find more ways to play the sides of the map and look for, like, early damage, I would ult this, by the way. Put a pylon up. I was thinking more like, that's fine. Just to see, my thought process was put a pylon, like, right here, so that way when you go into the air and use your ultimate, you have a spot to get healed by your pylon in case they hard focus you. Again, you're going to win the team fight, but you see what I'm saying? Throw it, like, here, and then you can maneuver back and forth. You're getting healed by the pylon, and then you can ult one of the doorways. So you're getting both sides of the heals. Your teammates will benefit on the cart, and you'll probably heal people on this side. Yes, it's in the open, but at this point, you have the advantage. You don't want to, like, get, like, you know, rolled and lose that advantage. Either way, it works out. Again, some of the stuff I'm telling you there is, like, it's more, like, prepare for these type of plays than, like, you needed it there. But that's the thing is, like, you want to develop these really good habits now. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get to silver and be like, holy crap, I need to adjust this. I should have adjusted this sooner. And that's kind of something I just like to kind of point out as we go. Go to your defense, which now you're on Mercy. That was okay. Okay. I did not see this coming. So now you're doing... Okay. Yep. Yep. You already want to be out of there beforehand. So, I guess when I look at this, and I see you swap to Mercy, my question is, what like prompted this swap? Because I don't mind going Mercy, as in like you can damage boost your teammates, etc., and your teammates were playing well. But I feel like you almost like took yourself out of the game for that first round. Yeah, see, and you went right back to Illari. You know, I would say believe that you can do this on Illari. Again, if you want to learn Mercy and keep getting better at Mercy, that's fine. But like that's gonna come with cover, learn the movement, and the more static you are as Mercy, the easier you are to kill. You know, I would already say like just a little bit of a note if you want to have Mercy be a bit of a pocket pick. I would work on your movement already. The quicker you can get better at your movement, the more survivability you have, and the more frustrating you become to play against. Know that we're going back to Illari already, but I would really practice that movement. I mean, there's like what do they call it, Mercy parkour servers. Like once you do that, then that can be a much easier pick, and you can get away with like a lot more survivability and more plays that you can make. So again, try to do that if you can. Anyway, here we go. All right, throwing your pylon up. Yep, that pylon's fine. A little bit of a, you know, pathing issue to get there, but it worked out. I have to do that sometimes. Yep. Okay. Nice job. There you go. And now, if you notice, by the way, even that little bit of damage you do, that's enough sometimes. So, like, if you're always concerned about, like, oh, I don't know if I'm doing enough damage output, even doing a body shot is going to be more effective than you think. See what I mean? As I say that, on cue. Like, no. Okay, we'll see how this goes. I think position is a little bit rough right now, and you want... Okay, so let's talk about this very quickly. Your pylon always wants to be in a spot that is in a safe... It's like a safety net spot, too. Putting your pylon here is going to make this very susceptible. I would rather your pylon, if you were going to be aggressive there, at least put it at like a much more like fallback area. Like right here. So when you fall back, it like heals you up, and then you can go over here, and they have to like turn to look for it if they want to help. Like things like that. If you play this far up, this is like an all-in pylon. Then when you fall back, this pylon will start to lose value when you want to get to your cover. What's your best cover is right here or right here. Like when you use your pylons, I want you to think about the backup spot too. The more uptime of that pylon, the better. Like straight up, like if you have that happen, like you have that up a lot, you're going to have good results. Checking out your damage output, by the way. Still a little bit less than the Kiriko, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like your damage output could be a little bit more, but I know it is bronze, so I expect a little bit less. So yeah, now your pylon again. You panic your pylon, and now look at it. Right? That is not like an... I always look at this. Make them earn the kill on the pylon. Don't give them a free pylon. That was a little bit too up. I would die in cart. If you can't get out. Yeah. Okay. Unless you have some miraculous play here, let's see. Maybe you get out. I mean, yeah, you know what? You got out, but I would. Okay, you know, I like this. I actually like this play. Good job. So let's talk about this. Honestly, like, you know, I'm more of a die on card person there just to be able to get back for the team fight, but you kind of actually made a good play after you survived. So I'm not even mad about the flank ultimate. I mean, obviously in this one, if you just practice on your mechanics a little bit, you're probably going to hit those shots and then you're going to be like, fine. So like, let's ignore you falling back. You know, that's game theory, etc. I would have probably died on the cart and then came back with my ultimate and worked with the team. But listen, if you survive there. Let's talk about the next part. That flank play was excellent. I want you to know that right there is what I'm talking about being a playmaker. It didn't go as planned, but I don't want you to see this play and then stop doing something like this, right? This is just a, hey, as you work on your aim and your mechanics, and more than likely, if they don't like Wu Yang ult the Ana right away, that was a great reaction by the Wu Yang, you probably have a much more successful ultimate. So this wasn't a bad play. You just didn't end up hitting your shots. And like, I'm not even joking. I think I did the exact same thing just the other day. Right? Where I was playing Illari, I had a good ultimate, and then like, I'm like, oh no, they're gonna kill me. I gotta finish this limb. Oh no, I keep thinking I'm gonna hit my shot. Oh no, I keep missing. And then you miss and you just, you know, it is what it is, right? I'm okay with that pylon for now. You just want to keep your teammates alive. Okay, yeah, go up. Ooh, at this corner now, stop. Let your hog take precedent there, like as in like let them stay up. Okay. Put your pylon here in the back left side right now, if you're going to stay over there. Or put it back right. Oh, no. Bad pylon. Again, you're trying to heal your Roadhog. Okay, so let's start off with like the idea that like you can't heal your hog here. Let's just pretend you can never heal your Roadhog. Never put your pylon in the spot that's going to basically be up there to try to keep your Roadhog alive. You're not going to be able to heal. So you're going to put the pylon back here somewhere, or over here if you want to keep an angle. I mean, you have a Cassidy here, so like this isn't a bad idea either. This is more of an all-in spot though, so you're gonna have to rotate this way as they push up and kind of create a crossfire. See? But you know, you can put it here safely. Like right here is a good spot if you don't want to. But point being is stop trying to like save your Roadhog in those situations. Like at some point, your Roadhog has to either get himself out of there or learn not to over push too much. Or your Kiriko can take care of that. But don't give up your pylon just because of that. Right? Obviously, you get a pylon in the spot we initially said. And then now your team's fine. Cass is going in the back line getting kills. Also want to point out a lot of your team fights are won on the reliance of like your DPS just going in and making a sick play. So I'm giving you ideas of how to keep playing this. Let's look at the scoreboard here. Yeah, I mean, look at your damage output. Like it's not like you've had to do a ton of damage, but honestly, if you want me to give you an exact like baseline, I would see probably from a good Illari an extra 3,000 damage. Keep in mind, even I struggle with this sometimes on Illari right now. It's one thing that if I had to say my biggest weakness on support is still finding damage output. It's not that I can't like aim or do the damage. It's that I just feel so like I feel like I have to heal my teammates more than I probably do. And I just have to trust that they're not going to take that last bit of damage and like trust that my damage will like outdo what they do. You were fine on the angle there. Obviously getting away was the correct play, but that's again on your Roadhog more than you. I want to point that out. It's more on the Roadhog. You're kind of stuck now. Like, I think you know this, which is why you're just going to do this. Yeah. Now the pylon across the map, I'm not a fan of. I know what you're trying to do, but you just got to like trust your teammates can survive that. This is the second time you've been caught in their backline. Yeah. So this is probably where this kind of goes back to what I've talked about, where you need to figure out how to reset with your team or be there more aggressively, because now you're in a weird spot where you're in their spawn and you're running around in circles. You've now staggered yourself. You're now in the tunnels of the initial spawn, pushing a bastion. In hindsight, you have created an opportunity of them looking at you. I'm still not a fan of how long this has been going for, but maybe it works out. Maybe you make a sick play. I don't know. We'll find out in a second. Apparently, they forgot about you, except the Sierra. Okay. I mean, the ultimate hits. Good ult. Okay. Here's what I'll say. The flank ultimate plays are great. Like, you're getting kills. I get weary that you're going to keep trying to do this as you climb more and more. Like, that's my concern, is that as you climb more and more, you're going to end up in this spot. You're not going to learn from, like, not resetting, and then eventually you're going to get stuck because you don't reset all the time. Good play on the flank, getting the kill. Again, I have no problem with flank ultimates. I want to give you the flip side of this whole scenario, if you get killed there late, the cart now gets to here without anything happening. Like this right here is how you lose games. The cart would be about here, like if they killed you in that time, and then you're coming out of spawn trying to retake, and it becomes a tough spot. But at the same time, it works. So like, I guess sometimes being a playmaker, you get some crazy plays like that. But I just want you to try to reset quicker if you're in a weird spot like that. It's such a weird call because you made a good play after you didn't reset, but like I feel like you shouldn't be in that spot to begin with. But at the same time, like it was a good play. So I want to like let you know that like getting the flank ultimate play is good, but I definitely think you need to try to reset a little bit more because overall that's how you can lose payload maps really easily by not properly resetting. Good news is in bronze you can get away with this for a bit, probably even in silver gold from what I've seen in Spectatings. But that's good. That you gotta remember that's just something to think about as you climb. Okay, I'm not trying to like have them like reset, but I also want to make sure there's like a good in between of that right now. Good pylon reset. Try to heal your teammate. Your character has that. Move your pylon up again. Good job. Everything's looking clean right now. Okay. You do not need to stand still in the middle of the open to reapply your pylon that barely had. Do not do that. That's going to get you killed. Like standing still like that and like just trying to reapply your pylon for the little bit of there. He might also have a shield that would regen it ever so slightly. Right now they're not killing your pylon. I would slightly move your pylon now in a second, like just a little bit further back. Just to adjust to what your Roadhog's doing, but now you can never mind, you're good. When you got the kill, you're fine. Good kill. Okay, everything's fine now. Pylon, we gotta adjust the pylon up. Good pylon spot. Don't be afraid to use your AoE to get away, like your shift back. Okay. I mean, hot take. Don't solo ult the Roadhog there. I don't know if it's a hot take. The Hog was already going to be dead at that point. They used all their cooldowns, so try not to waste it. Yeah, sometimes you got to solo health an Hog. Solo ult a Hog, you know? This has been a game where you're very reliant on your teammates popping off. I mean, if you look at the DPS of your team, this is what I mean. Like, I want you to find ways to get more value with your damage output when you don't have your players popping off like they are, because that's where a Yari can really turn fights. So, Price you, thanks for the 18 months with the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, like, these are plays that you shouldn't even be in to begin with. Like, there's no reason why you should push into that hallway. Adjust your positioning with your team, not run into a Roadhog on the side, like, hallway. That's what you get. The Roadhog's like, hey, you solo ulted me? My turn. Good news is you got only, at the very least, a guaranteed draw here. So that's good at least for you.
Deploying rock unit. Killing pylon out.
There you go. Team wins that. Easy. Yeah, this is one of these games where your teammates were popping off the whole time, so you didn't have to, like, you didn't get punished for a lot of the plays that you did. But I got a couple of things for you to work on. Number one, let's start thinking about your pylon spots. I want you to think more about cover. Stop throwing them on the ground in front of a cart. Don't do that again. Your pylon becomes such an important aspect. And in bronze, where, like I said, aiming can be a little bit worse at times, having your pylon there to be a consistent heal can be really nice. Start taking more angles with your teammates. Like, start putting your pylon more aggressively for you and maybe another DPS, and start, like, doing damage from those parts of the map. I'm not even joking. You could have games where you finish with 10,000 damage, 15,000 healing, and you're just dominating the game. I lose games to Ayaris because of this sometimes. Like, you can't do anything, you know, against a good Ayari if things go well. So you definitely are preventing yourself from doing a lot of damage, but I think it's because you're not going to some of the spots you should go to. You know, obviously look at what your other support is. If you have a Zenyatta, maybe you have to do a little bit more heals up front, but, like, the point I'm making is start to play like that a little bit more. Last thing I was going to say is reset properly. There was a couple moments here where I feel like you didn't reset properly, and because your teammates were dominating on the front line, you got away with it more. I think if you work on, like, those, you know, 2 or 3 things I gave you, you're going to see a climb already. Obviously, your aim could, you want to work on that. But I always assume that aim and movement is always being worked on, and most people will know that. So the rest, if you can pick up on that, I think you'll get into silver, all right? You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating or something on my Discord with the videos we do, that's for my Discord. That's where you do that. And if you want to watch another one of these where I give some feedback with, with this bronze basics, look on the bottom over here. You'll see one. It's a good one. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.